Welcome back to your daily dose of ancient wisdom. We continue the reading of Srimad Bhagavatam, Book 1, Discourse 8. The Lord delivers Pariksit in the womb and is extolled by Kunti. Yudhisthira gives way to grief. Sutta says, placing the ladies at the head and accompanied by Sri Krishna, they all repaired to the banks of Ganga in order to offer oblations of water to their departed kinsmen seeking such oblations. Having offered water to the deceased and bitterly wept for them, they all immersed themselves once more in the water of Ganga that had been hallowed by the contact with the dust of Srihari's lotus feet. Showing how all created beings are subject to death which cannot be averted, Lord Madhava or Sri Krishna and the sages Dhaumya and others consoled King Yudhisthira, the Lord of Kurus, and his younger brothers Bhima and others, Dhritarashtra and his wife Gandhari, daughter of King of Gandhara, who was stricken with grief at the loss of her sons, as well as Pritha, Kunti, and Krishna, all of whom had lost their kith and kin and were sitting there plunged in grief. Having secured to the King Yudhisthira, to whom no enemy was ever born, in other words, who was too good to regard anyone as his enemy in his own kingdom, that had been usurped by gamblers and brought about the destruction of wicked kings, whose span of life had been cut short by touching Draupadi's hair, and having helped him to perform as many as 3 Ashvametha sacrifices with the best possible material and with the aid of the best available priest. He caused his sacrifice of sacred renown to spread in all directions like that of Indra, who was raised to exalted position only after performing 100 Ashvametha sacrifices. Having taken leave of Pandu's son and paid his respect to holy Brahmanas like Dvaipayana, who is nothing but Vyasa, who did their homage to him in return, he mounted his chariot and was just intending to leave for Dwaraka along with Satyaki and Uddhava when, O Saunaka, he perceived Uttara, widow of Abhimanyu, Arjuna's deceased son, rushing towards him, stricken with fear. Uttara said, "Protect me, O great yogi, save me, O supreme deity, O Lord of universe. I see no asylum other than you in this world, where everyone is death to another. This dart of burning steel is pursuing me, O Almighty Lord. Let it burn me by all means, my master, but let it not kill the child in my womb." Sutta says, hearing her words, the Lord, who is so fond of his devotees, understood that it was a missile discharged by Ashwatthama, son of Dronacharya, in order to exterminate the line of Pandavas, sons of Pandu. That very moment, O chiefs of sages, the sons of Pandu also saw 5 burning shafts coming towards them and took up their own missiles. Perceiving the calamity of his kinsmen, who thought of none else than him, the Almighty Lord protected them with his own discus, Sudarshana. Srihari, the master of yoga, who is the very self dwelling in the heart of all living beings, enveloped the womb of Uttara, the daughter of King Virata, by his own Maya or yogic power in order to preserve the line of Kuru. Even though the missile presided over by Brahma is unfailing and is irresistible, it proved ineffectual when it met the effulgence of Bhagavan Vishnu. O chief of Bhrigus, deem this not as a miracle on the part of Lord Achyuta, Sri Krishna, who is the embodiment of all wonders and who, though unborn, himself creates, maintains, and destroys this universe by his own deluding potency. When Sri Krishna was about to leave, the virtuous Pritha or Kunti, along with her sons, the Pandavas, who had just escaped from the fire of the missiles, presided over by Brahma, and her daughter-in-law Krishna, who was Draupadi, addressed him as follows. Kunti said, I am an ignorant woman. Make obeisance to you, the prime person transcending Prakriti and dwelling inside as well as outside all created beings, the invisible and imperishable God existing beyond the range of sense perception and screened by the curtain of Maya. You cannot be seen by a man of perverted vision, even as a dunes would fail to recognize the actor appearing in a grab appropriate to the stage. How then can we women folk perceive you who have appeared in our midst just to endanger devotion in the heart of Paramahamsas, those endowed with the eyes distinguishing the material form in the spiritual, who are given to contemplation and pure of mind? Obeisance to you, Sri Krishna, son of Vasudeva, the delight of Devaki, your blessed mother, the foster child of the cowherd Nanda, Lord Govinda. Obeisance to you, whose navel is adorned with the lotus. Obeisance to you, wearing a wreath of lotus flowers. Obeisance to you, possessing lotus-like eyes. Obeisance to you, whose feet resemble the lotus. O Hrishikesha, Lord of the senses, even as you delivered Devaki, your mother, who had been shut up in the prison for a long time by the wicked Kamsa and was overcome with grief, so did you, O Almighty Lord, repeatedly save me along with my sons from a series of calamities. It is you, O Hari, who protected us from the prison, from a huge fire, from the look of a man-eating demon, from the assembly of wicked people of Duryodhana and his associates, from the perils met during the forest life, from the missiles of many great warriors like Bhishma, Drona, Karna, and so on, in every battle, and just now from the missiles discharged by Ashwadhama, son of Dronacharya. May calamities befall us at every step through eternity, O teacher of the world, for it is inadvertently, in adversity alone, that we are blessed with your sight, which eliminates the possibility of seeing another birth. A man whose birth, power, learning, and affluence only serve to swell his pride is unable even to utter your name, you being open to the perception of only those who have nothing to call their own. You are the only wealth of those who have no sense of possession beyond the realm of the three gunas or modes of Prakriti. You delight in your own self and are perfectly calm. You are the Lord of Moksha, or the final beatitude. I bow to you again and again. I believe you to be the Kala, the time spirit, the almighty ruler of all, having no beginning or end and moving alike among all creatures, although it is you again who serve as an occasion for them to contend with one another. None, O Lord, can you know what you indeed are doing when you are acting like men. No one is ever dear or loathsome to you. It is men alone who think of you in terms of diversity. O Lord, you are the soul of the universe, nay, the universe itself. You are, as a matter of fact, devoid of birth and actions. Your birth and actions in the subhuman species as well as among men, rishis and aquatic creatures are mere sport. When you offered your foster mother Yashoda by smashing the pot of curds, and she took a cord to bind you, the way in which you stood full of fear, your face cast down, your eyes rolling about in confusion, and their collyrium dissolved in tears, fills me with the bewilderment. To think that even he of whom fears itself is afraid should appear so stricken with fear. Some people aver that, though unborn, you have appeared in the race of your beloved Yadu of sacred renown, just in order to enhance his glory, even as sandal tree takes root on the Malaya mountain in order to bring reputations to the latter. Others declare that, though birthless, you were born of Devaki Vasudeva's wife for the protection of this world and the extermination of the enemies of gods, as solicited by the couple in their previous existence. Still others assert that in response to the prayer of Brahma, the self-born creator, you have appeared in our midst to relieve the burden of earth, which was groaning under the heavy load like a vessel sinking in the sea. Some others maintain that you have descended on earth with the intention of performing deeds fit to be heard of or dwell upon by those who are being tormented in the woods by ignorance, desire, and selfish acts. That is why your devotees constantly listen to, sing, repeat, or others of contemplate you. That is why your devotees constantly listen to, sing, repeat to others, and contemplate on your stories and rejoice, and it is they alone who behold before long your lotus feet that put an end to the stream of births and deaths. O Lord, we know you have always granted the wishes of your own people. It is a fact, then, that you indeed, this very day, to leave us, your relations who exclusively depend on you, you and who have no asylum other than your lotus feet, having alienated other monarchs by inflicting suffering on them. When you are out of sight, the Yadus and ourselves, the Pandavas, are no more consequence in name of form than the senses when their ruler, the soul, has quitted them. The earth will not look so bright then, O wielder of mace, as it does now, adorned by your footprints, which are easily distinguished by their characteristic mark of lotus, thunderbolt, banner, and goad, etc. These territories, so highly prosperous and so rich in their ripe crops and vegetation, as well as these woodlands and hills, rivers and oceans, flourish only under your being lurks. Lord, you are not only the ruler and the soul of the universe, but the universe itself. Kindly cut asunder the strong bond of affection that binds me with my own people, the Pandus and their Vrishnas or the Yadus. Even as the Ganga incessantly pours its water into the ocean, so let my thought, O Lord, the Madhus, constantly and exclusively find delight in you. O glorious Krishna, friend of Arjuna, foremost among the Vrishnas, you are fire, as it were, to burn the whole race of princes who are proving the bane of earth. You prowess is infinite, Govinda. Your descent on this earth is intended only to relieve the distress of cows, the Brahmanas, and the gods. Obsequious you, master of yoga, or divine teacher of the universe. Sutta went on. It is in this way when Pritha extolled in sweet words the consummate glory of Lord Vaikuntha, he gently smiled as if bewitching her by his maya or deluging potency. So be it, said Krishna, and taking leave to her, entered the city of Hastinapur once again. Then, after bidding adieux to other ladies as well, he was about to leave for Dwaraka when King Yudhisthira detained him out of love. The king, who was seized with remorse for his having been instrumental in bringing about the destruction of his own kinsmen, could not be consoled even though Vyasa and others who understood the way of the providence and even Sri Krishna of marvelous deeds comforted him by means of legend. Brooding over the death of his kinsmen with a bewildering mind, holy Brahmanas, and overpowered by the affection and infatuation, King Yudhisthira, the son of Dharma, the god of righteousness, said, "Oh, look at the ignorance rooted in my heart. Evil-minded as I am, I brought about the destruction of many akshauhinis for the sake of this body, which is the food of other creatures such as jackals and dogs. There can be no redemption from hell even after millions and millions of years for me, an enemy of children, Brahmanas, my own kin and kith, friends, uncles, cousins, and preceptors. The saving clause found in the scriptures that the destruction of enemies is a righteous war on the part of a monarch seeking the protection of his subjects is no sin fails to satisfy me. The wrong that I have done in this life to the women folk whose husbands and other relations have been slain by me or on my account, I shall not be able to expiate those sacrificial performances enjoined on a householder. One cannot be alone for the destruction of a single life by any number of sacrifices that involve the willful slaughter of animals, any more than one can purify muddy waters by dissolving more mud into it, or conturent the pollution caused by the spirituous liquor by adding more to it. The footnote: an akshauhini mentioned above consists of 21,870 chariots, an equal number of elephants, 109,350 foot, and 65,610 horses. Thus ends the 8th discourse entitled Kunti's Song of Praise and Yudhisthira's Remorse in Book 1 of Great and Glorious Bhagavata Purana, otherwise known as Paramahamsa Samhita. Thank you.